Yes, yes. Welcome to the Yee Yee Show. You know what I'm talking about? Where we're bringing everybody that nice content, those one-on-one interviews, and it's a blessing. We're here today. We're just chilling, relaxing in the Yee Yee studio, and we got a guest here for you guys today. We're not going to bring him out yet, but I just what we're doing here at the Yee Yee Show. I like how everybody follows me and supports the whole movement. This is why I do what I do. And we bring you guys this exclusive content, these interviews, and we talk that real junk talk without all of the distractions that we have when we're on another situation, as you guys see me on other shows. But right here we like to get to that one-on-one and give people their flowers and just have a sit down and talk with what we're doing. And today we got a special guest, a real good guy in junk removal who has he's dedicated his life. I mean, he's dedicated his life to junk removal. And I felt that this person has a lot of heat on themselves. And I said, you know what, let's bring this individual to the Yee Yee show and see what's happening and hear this person's story. And with that said, let's bring him on. Let's bring him on. What's up? What's up, my brother?
What's up, man? How you doing, Yee? What's going
Oh,
on?
yeah. Oh man, it's a blessing. I salute you. I thank you for coming on to the Yee Yee show and giving me your very busy, valuable time.
Yeah,
You
and I
know,
I appreciate it as well, man, for having me on your new show. So,
yes, yes, yes,
congrats on starting the show. So, yeah, dude,
yes.
I'm looking forward to what you got going on in the future and your guests. I've been following your content for a since you started. Like I religiously know every YouTuber. Like I follow every YouTuber. So I've been watching you for a minute too.
Yeah, we all watch each other, and I've seen you for a long time, and I've just seen you grow and grow and grow, and I've watched your channel since day one, and we all want to be successful in junk removal, and I've watched a lot of your content, and to where you're at now, and
Yeah.
it's just a blessing, and we all know what you're doing for junk removal, and how I've said that I think that you have dedicated your whole life to this,
Yeah.
and there's no hold bards, and you're not going back. And basically we got you on the show today because this show is all about Andrew Thompson. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We know what you're doing with the autopilot, the CRM, and it's a beautiful software. I suggest everybody get in the game, handle your business, get a CRM early as they preach it, because they preach it for a reason. They're not
Mhm.
preaching it just to sell it. They're preaching it. You should get a CRM and start, what I mean, all the data and everything. And Andrew Thompson is it's a game breaker what you did bringing this to the junk world.
Yeah. Thank you.
And so talk about autopilot. Let's go.
So, to just backtrack real quick, when you know, tell everybody to get us, like everybody should start as early as they can. Um, and it's true because some people it's harder the further along you get, and there's people who do great without CRMs, right? Like, you know, not to be controversial, but an example that shines bright is Ricardo.
Hmm.
He's a hater of CRMs, yet him and I are still cool. Like, not it's not for everybody. And
Hmm.
it's I really do, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to sell you a CRM, but they make a drastic difference in your business, and we'll talk about why. We'll really get into that later.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of questions later, but
Hmm.
yeah. So CRMs are very important, and for a multitude of reasons. And I Autopilot. So I think you just said let's talk about Autopilot. So just to kind of to riff with, I guess let's start from the beginning. Like why, like why Autopilot?
Yeah.
Before we get into all the like technicalities or whatever. Or is that a appropriate? Is that an appropriate answer?
No, no.
Or
So we all know how you started. We all know Andrew Jedi Junk Removal started Jedi Junk Removal, Southern California,
yeah.
put in work, did so much, got the dump trucks, handled his business, but decided that what I mean, he wanted to go a different route, which
Mhm.
junk removal has. That junk removal will allow you to open other doors
Oh yeah.
to do something else in life. It can either help you fix your credit, help you buy a house, help you buy that car you want, or just
Yeah.
help you just live a better life if you want. And
Mhm.
you chose to open the door with the software.
Yeah.
So,
So
I think that that was a excellent move by doing it at the right time. But you had to make that decision where you were like, man, what is it going to be? Because you can't do both.
so to be completely candid, right? My my expectations were to always do both, right? I
Hmm.
originally had a travel app I was working on during, and then COVID hit, and I got into the junk removal business. And my expectations or my plan was to always go back to my travel app. And then my first truck started making 20K a month, 40K a month. And I was like, holy crap, I can just rinse and like, yee. I was like, yo, I can just launch another truck and another truck and another truck. I thought, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get to 3 trucks, get a CEO or an operations manager in place, and then I'm going to go back to Gypsy and I'll just do both. And I was like, I remember, I was like, I had a vision in my head. I was going to do this pose with 20 trucks lined up behind me, kind of like I wanted to be the next Got Junk. And
Yeah.
then junk removal is a great business. If you're trying to change your life, it'll change your life. I have always had the expectations or plans in life to like build a multi-million dollar, billion-dollar software company. It's just always been a dream of mine to build something that serves millions of people. And for a minute, I thought junk removal was going to. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have 10 trucks in 2 years, and then you realize it is not that easy, and
Not at all.
you kind of hit this. And I'm not trying to discourage anyone from junk removal because you can make great money and change your life, just like you said, fix your credit, buy a house. You could make $250,000 a year pretty damn easy if you dedicate your life to junk removal. Like you can
Hmm.
make, and when I say 250,000, I mean 250,000. You can make 250,000 profit. Some people pay in cash, you scrap, like,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
you, you can make some great money. I wanted to build an empire, and I hit this roadblock when I hit 1.1 million was my top line. Now, granted, I did 250,000 in profit after everything, and it's not just go launch another truck or launch another. So I hit a roadblock to where I was like, okay, do I want to try to take this to $10 million and spend the next 5-10 years of my life doing this and get to 10 million or 20 million? And it's
Hmm.
very hard to launch a new location. Very, very hard because you have to go into it. You cap out in your city's population. So you have to go to the next county or the next state. And how do you do that? Capital, credit, time, fly out there, leave your family, stay out there for a month, find somebody you trust. It is a very hard, and that's the reason why people franchise. So I was like, I can't do both. This is impossible. Even if I have an operations manager, I'm still running payroll. I'm dealing with people like problems that happen,
Yeah.
tires that pop. They need approval on this. Like
Hmm.
I had a lead employee, call him an operations manager, and there would always be a problem that happens. He'd have to call me, and then
Yeah.
it screws up my flow state of working on like trying to do autopilot. So I
Hmm.
made the decision to go to get rid of the company and sell it, take all the money from the sell, and go full
Hmm.
time software. And
Yes.
that was and it was no fault of junk removal because junk removal is incredible. You can make
Yeah.
tons of money, but I hit a roadblock of like
Yeah.
scaling is I have to dedicate the rest of my life
Yeah.
to doing junk removal and scaling it, which is an
Hmm.
option, or go to software.
So I think your situation is more like somebody who's like, I'm not saying you were pointing a finger or putting in a certain category, but I think like someone who works at this one job but kind of hates the job, but
Mhm,
the money's good, so I got to deal with it to either pay off school loans or pay
mhm.
this off or pay this off. But once I'm done with this, I'm done with this job. Adios. F that,
Yep,
I'm done. So I
yep,
think that's what you did, and junk removal allowed you to, get there.
yep,
Your passion is software.
yep.
So
And
who wants to keep on cleaning, hoarder houses and getting dirty and doing all this? And Southern California gets hot. It
yep,
never rains in Southern California. And
yeah.
Jesus, it's
And
hot doing junk removal.
You asked a really good question on the last podcast that really hit me right here. You're like, Andrew, did you ever love
Yeah,
junk removal? Is what you asked.
I know.
And for the first year, I loved it. I was obsessed, right? For the first year, because I was like finding gold and like one, there's no truer saying than one man's trash is another man's treasure than this
Mhm.
industry. You can use that in a lot of industries, but it really means
Yeah,
everything in this industry. One
every
man's trash.
every
I think honestly, maybe a trash business owner probably came up with that saying. I'd have to
yeah,
argue, right?
yeah,
And I loved it, dude. I fucking loved it because I was like on cloud nine. I was like, oh my God, I'm making killer money and I'm finding cool stuff
fast
and
money.
fast money paid on the spot, right?
Yeah,
Cash
cash
in
cow,
hand,
cash
credit
cow.
card deposit. Even if you switch to a credit card machine, it's in your bank the next day, right?
Period. Hmm.
And it's not a service where you have to like build a website. It takes fucking 2 weeks, and you have a pissed off client, and you're
Hmm.
doing SEO for somebody, and they're pissed
Yeah,
off, and
yeah,
you have a customer that's praising you. That was another thing is when you got rid of their stuff in their garage, they looked at you like you were God. They were
yeah,
so happy that you because they've probably been dealing with that junk for 15 years, and
yeah,
you just took off so much stress off their shoulders, right?
yeah,
And moving, it's a high stress scenario where they're pissed that they have to move, they have to like
yeah.
switch places, you're going to dink their furniture.
No,
And
yeah, no
that's
doubt.
why movers, they kind of like they don't get as good as tips, I've heard, because in junk removal you're taking stress away, moving you're dealing with their stress. And
Yeah,
it was one of those situations where, dude, I love junk removal for the first year, okay? And I respect the industry. I respect blue collar. I respect home services. But at the end of the day, I thought it wasn't me but I thought for that first year, Mr. Yee, I really thought for the first year, I was like, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. I was like, I'll do
yeah,
software too, but I'm going to get to 20 trucks, 50 trucks, 100 trucks. I'm going to take down got junk. I'm going to take them down. And then you
yeah,
realize, oh, brother, this is a great
yeah,
business for you. But if you plan on taking over the world, I don't want to discredit anybody, and I don't want to shoot anybody's dreams down because
no, not at all.
I don't want to discourage anybody. But you have a lot of work if you're going to take down got
Yeah,
junk.
yeah. Well, I think it's a marathon, and some people try to cheat and win the race faster or
Yep.
get to the lead faster when
Yep.
when you should take your time and earn every. It's like what I say. It's like karate. You know what I mean?
Karate.
The black belt of junk removal. Hui, with the
Mhm.
boots to match. But you know what I mean? You have to earn every step of it. And some are gifted with with the knowledge of SEO. Some are
Yep.
gifted with making their own websites, and people
Yep.
don't realize that you think that you can just jump in this business and do this and do that, and but your website doesn't rank.
Some are
Or
gifted with the gift of gab, like Yee.
yes, sir, yes, sir. I
Gab.
appreciate that, my brother.
Oh, you
And
have the gift of gab. I know that.
oh yeah, well, I've always been a people's person. I've always been a people's person, and
Oh no,
I
it shows. It
yeah,
shows.
I've learned to listen. I learned to listen. Like we listen to our clients sometimes. If I got to listen to this senior citizen, and I know I'm going to walk out of here with $800, but I got to listen to a little bit because you don't want to rush them or mess the sale up. I got to listen and be patient.
Exactly.
And that's what this job's all about is patience. And we all know we all know what you're doing now. So, with that said, what what does what what does Andrew Thomas do to unwind, to reset when he feels that there's a lot going on? We in any business you carry a lot of weight. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I want to get to know you. What does Andrew Thompson, you know what I mean, do to reset and relax?
So, speaking candidly, I used to be an avid skateboarder and snowboarder. I don't
Yeah,
have hobbies anymore. I've got two kids. I've got a business. Um, now thousands of customers, over 1,000 customers. So I'm constantly,
Congratulations. Yes,
yeah,
congratulations.
so
Milestone.
constantly dealing with that. But business has always been like my thing. I love
Okay.
building things and I love seeing the results. Unfortunately, I hate to say I don't have any extracurricular hobbies that I enjoy. So um,
Activities.
what the one activity I do have, I need to start going to the. So I am crushing the gym, but I need to go more
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day. So the one thing that I do, and I wish there was more that I did, but this is the one thing that Andrew Thompson does right now is me and my girl go on dates. I love taking my girl out for food. I love food.
Nice.
We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a couple glasses of wine. We call a
Yeah.
babysitter. We get
Mm-hmm.
the hell away from the kids.
Yeah, hey,
And
I'm married. I'm a married guy myself. I'm a married
yep,
guy, and sometimes you have to put the business to the side,
yep.
and you just have to say, "Babe, it's all about us.
And
Let's go get a drink and some food, of course,
yep,
and
food,
just go people
food.
watch and go relax and
Yeah,
just get some fresh air."
yeah. So we do go on hikes too. I do like getting outside and doing
Oh
hikes.
yes,
I
nice,
do like
yes,
hikes. And I used to. I don't. I live in California. I don't like the beach. I don't like the
wow,
water.
wow,
Yeah, it's no. I like the being next to the beach. I like the idea of the palm trees and the water right there,
yeah.
but I hate the sand. Um,
So, are you more of a pool guy? More of a pool guy?
if I had to choose between the two, absolutely a pool. I don't like the. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm scared of the ocean. I'm scared of sand. I mean,
Jaws.
I go once a year, right? But
Yeah,
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 Andrew Tom, dude. I get joy from working. I get joy, like I really truly do. It's the whole like cliche Alex Hermosi thing. Like Alex Hermosi, if you watch him, he's like,
hmm
I only like to work. And Alex Hermosi and his wife recently, they even said on a recent podcast that they went to Hawaii for 2 weeks for vacation. And
hmm
Alex Hermosi said he was so miserably bored after 4 days. They
Yeah,
cut
that's
the
yeah,
vacation short. Now,
yeah.
I would stay the whole 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I like
hmm
Oh, vacation. I like that. There's my answer. I like traveling. I like
Yeah,
vacation. So you've probably seen if you watch my YouTube, I've done a road trip.
I seen
Dropped
your
me off
road
a
trip.
trailer. I did the road
Uh-huh.
trip to go see Carson in
Yeah.
Tennessee,
Yeah,
and
I seen that. I seen it.
I turned it into a work trip and a vacation. Right. So my
Yeah,
lady
yeah,
comes with me. The
yeah.
grandmas watch the kids.
Beautiful.
Um, and going to the
Best of
Jump
both
Expo,
worlds.
we made that a vacation. So
Yeah.
it's all been workations lately. Workations.
Work.
Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey,
but
hey, two birds at one stone.
two birds, one stone. My lady has been begging for a vacation like
Uh-huh.
soon
Yeah. Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
haven't been on a vacation since Hawaii 4 years ago. It's all been workations, like
Wow.
Going to JunkCon where I met Matt and JoJo, and
Yeah.
going to Texas to see
Yeah.
to speak with Matt Fitch, and it's all been workations. But
Yeah.
I love getting out of the state, getting away from the kids. Love my kids, love you kids, but sometimes we need a break.
Yeah, no, no, no. Sometimes you need a break, you need to get away, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Happy wife, happy life.
happy
And
wife, happy life.
that's just part of it. And when you live with someone, you really get to know them, and we're both in
Oh,
this house.
oh, bro,
Yeah. Yes. What's up?
I'm a huge. So I used to be a photographer in my past life, and
Nice.
I was pretty damn good. I like to think I was a really good photographer, and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't pay the bills. Like I made money, but it doesn't make you $250,000 a year money, right? Unless you're shooting for Vogue and stuff, or like
Yeah.
you're doing big stuff. But
Paparazzi.
as a photographer, I appreciate cinema and cinematography, so I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with movies and TV shows. I watch
Yeah.
movies and TV shows every night with my lady. That is my jam. Sometimes when her and I get a chance, we'll just literally binge TV shows.
You you
Binge.
you you might need to start getting a script ready for the junk movie, the junk
Um,
mover movie.
let's
You'd
just
be
say I've got a surprise at the Junk
nice.
Expo. I've
Oh,
got
we
a
got
movie that I'm demoing, not a movie,
nice.
a short film that I'm.
Uh-huh.
So you heard it on the Yee show first. I actually didn't even want to
Yes.
mention anything, but I had
Okay.
a 5 minute short film
Nice.
in the trash business that I will be presenting at the Junk Expo.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing of junk removal is that you get to do so many things. You can do so many things in junk removal where, this is just a diving board. Junk removal can be just a diving board into so many other things. Because I was speaking to Tim Doss today, And
Mhm.
it's just
Yep.
there's so many things that you can do with junk removal. And you don't just have to always stick with junk removal. It can lead you so many different paths.
Oh yeah.
And it's just all about, there's a powerful word we were talking today together, me and Tim Doss, the word clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter. When you declutter, that is so
Mhm.
amazing because clients pay us to declutter their house or their business or whatever it takes. You know what I mean? But how much do you how much do you declutter in your life?
Have you heard of minimalism?
Not that I don't think I have that in my
So
in my brain right now.
you just reminded me of, I went through a phase of minimalism. Go look this
Hmm.
up after this. The fact that you honestly just made me think of a whole new sales pitch in junk
Yeah.
removal. So there's a TED talk on minimalism,
Hmm.
and there's these two guys. They're friends or brothers, and they do a TED talk on minimalism, on how
Yeah.
the more stuff you accumulate in life, the more you get stressed. There was even a
Yeah.
Netflix show with Marie Kondo, and if it
Hmm.
doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. It went viral.
Yeah.
Um, so declutter is similar to minimalism. Minimalism is the art of like not acquiring materialistic stuff,
Hmm.
unless you. I mean, to a point, like we all want nice things. Like my dream car is a Rolls Royce. That's my dream car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Hey.
get it someday. But the
Yeah.
point is like not acquiring so much stuff, minimalism. And you
Hmm.
saying declutter just made me think of that, because that is what you're effectively helping people do, is take crap out of their lives, minimize, because the more
Hmm.
stuff you acquire, the more stress you have.
Yeah.
That is a
And
fact. And you
and
go
we
watch that TED talk. It'll change your life.
TED Talk.
Yeah.
Everybody out there watching, make sure you guys tune into TED Talk, Netflix,
Yeah. And just
and
like type in TED talk minimalism. It's a grand,
mhm.
I remember it was like, oh
maybe
my God.
maybe take a note right now, write that down, minimum. What you just said, so you can remember that
Minimalism. Yeah,
later.
it's
And
a lifestyle for some people where they try to
yeah,
like, get as rid of many things as they can so they have less
I'm
stress.
I'm the same way. In my garage, both my cars are in my garage, and that's how I like it. I like to be able
Yep.
to walk in my garage,
And
and
that's it. Just the
that's
cars.
it. That's just, I don't even like things on the floor no more. I put everything over the head in my overhead racks. You know what I mean? I just don't like
So I
my
know one of
garage.
the cars that you have. What's the
Yes.
other one?
My other one is is Big Blue, my truck, and then my other one is my 2001 Hyundai little SUV, 5 speed
Okay.
that
Nice.
I
Hell yeah.
got from
Is that your
that I
daily
got
driver?
yeah, that I got from a job. And it's just
You
I
got it from
have
a
a
job?
yeah, so I have a habit of when I see cars sitting, and if I go to a client's house and I see a car sitting, and what tells me it's been sitting is when you see spider webs all over the tires.
Right, right, right,
So
right.
that tells you that car's been there. So whenever I see a car sitting like that, I always ask the client, what are you doing with that car? Do you want that car? Do you want your space back? Do you want your driveway back? And
Mhm.
and a lot of people tell me yes, but that car doesn't work. But this is the problem with it. Then if I see potential in it and I see low miles and stuff like that, and I know it's
You
the
know,
original owner, I make them an offer, and sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. But there's
yeah,
just so many ways to make money in this business. You have to spread your hustle to
yeah.
to just make more money. And some people want the 20 trucks behind you. Some people want the look of the dump truck. Some people want the look of the trailer. Some people want this. Some people want that. But I like to keep it, simple like an apple.
Yep.
A
Simple like
simple apple,
simple like an apple?
just like an apple, simple like
Like
an
an
apple.
apple, like an Apple product?
No, no, just like an apple, because
Oh,
there's
simple
nothing
like an
simple.
apple.
Yeah, there's nothing simple about an Apple product. I'll tell you
Hey,
that right now.
they're supposed to be known for their simplicity, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you own anything Apple, you should already be knowing how to use it.
Right.
And that's just otherwise go
Are
get an
you an Apple
HP.
guy or an Android guy?
I am a Apple guy,
Cool.
and I never was that way. But everything you see me do on a daily day is with Mac and
Yep.
Apple,
Same.
and I
So
won't
I
do
used
anything else.
not to go off on a tangent, but I was a Windows guy from my whole life. I started
Yeah.
coding when I was 10 years old, all
Mm-hmm.
the way to when I switched to Apple when I was 21. So 11 years of using Windows, and I switched to Apple, never looked back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And obviously I use Linux because I used to set up my own, back in the day I used to set up my own servers and play with all
yeah.
kinds of stuff. Unix and Linux was my jam. But
I never knew any of that until, I would say 10 years ago when I first got my first Apple phone. And I was like, I'm done. You got
Yep.
me. You got me for life.
Yep.
As we want people out there to do autopilot. Once you get
Hmm.
it, once you get it, what I mean, you see how easy it is. You see how, what I mean, what it can do for you and how it benefits your business. You're done for life. There you go. Make
Yep.
it easy for yourself. So with that said, Andrew, what's going on right now with autopilot? Anything in the new in the makings, or what's the future? What's going on?
Yeah. So, man, this can of worms open here, right? A lot to unpack. Oh, let me fix my camera. Hold on.
Uh-oh, not the new
Hold on.
camera.
There we go.
There you
Cool.
go.
So, Autopilot, man. Here's the thing. We're going up against billion-dollar companies, right? It's kind of like, I kind of thought of this the other day when I was posting on Facebook. It's like hiring the local guy versus hiring got junk, right? If you want to support your local person, hire me. We may
Yeah.
not look as pretty and be as big and have as much money, but we can do the same thing, right?
Hmm.
Um, but there's a big difference. And Autopilot, I started Autopilot because I was frustrated with the software that I was using. So I ran a junk removal business for 2.5 years before I sold it. Dedicated my entire life to junk removal, and 2.5 years I sold it, and I crushed it for those 2.5 years. But I used House Call Pro for the first year, Workies for the last year and a half, and they worked. I have nothing bad to say about any of the softwares. They all
Hmm.
were all CRMs and field service management softwares, right? Like,
Hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and say they suck. Use Autopilot. I'm going to be honest. They all work. We all do the same freaking thing, right?
Hmm.
We help you manage and run your business. But to charge a customer $225 a month, Workies' cheapest plan, and Jobber, they do have a cheap plan for like $69. But if you want to have the features that you need comparable to Workies, $250. House Call Pro, $190. And I remember, like, when I first started my business, it's like, holy shit, I got to, at the time, I think it was 169, 159, 3 years, 4 years ago.
Hmm.
And I was just like, this is, and it finally hit me a year into my junk removal business. I was like, holy shit, there's no reason to be charging this much money for this software. Like, I want to be a better software that helps small businesses succeed. And, there's a reason why they charge so much money. They've taken $180 million of VC money. So what you guys like, and yeah, they have features that I don't have right now, but we're damn near close to comparable. Like, we haven't raised $180 million. We've raised $500,000, right?
That's
And we haven't
big. That's a lot of
yeah, we
money.
raised $500,000, and we haven't even spent the $500,000, right? We still have
Hmm.
a lot of money left. And they've raised $180 million. So they have venture capital people to pay back. So that's why they're charging you 3 times the price. Like, I'm charging 50 a month, they're charging 300. Think about, like, okay, fine. 190 is where the good shit, and then Workies is 225. But if you want all the bells and whistles, it's 300,
Hmm.
right? If you want, but
Yeah.
I give you most of those bells and whistles at 50. Now, I will be, and we have things that set us apart. We'll get into that in a minute. We definitely have things that set us apart. But the biggest one right now, YEEEEE, is obviously going to be price. I'm here to help the little guy not have to pay so much money, but be able to track your numbers, track your data, manage your employees, and market to your customers, send out a text blast, all the things you need to manage your business at $50 a month. And
Hmm.
Workies locks you into a 1-year contract at $225 a month, a 1-year contract. Um,
Yeah.
so that is why I started Autopilot, and why I sold my company is because, number one, I've always wanted to build a billion-dollar software company, because I'm not going to lie, who doesn't want to make millions of dollars? Of course I want to make millions of dollars. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm fucking some nonprofit organization. I'm not going to, blow smoke up your guys' ass. I love software, and I also like what software could potentially bring me, which is millions of dollars. But it can also make our investors tons of money if I bring it to $1 billion valuation. Jobber, by the way, is a $5 billion company. Billion.
Billion.
billion. Service
1 billion.
Titan, which is the enterprise version of Jobber. All the enterprise companies use Service Titan. If you have locations across multiple states, you generally go to Service Titan. That's just kind of the rule of thumb. Um, they IPO. They're the first YEEEEE. They're the first company in the world in field service management software to IPO on the Nasdaq for 10 at all to go public at all in FSM, CRM, not CRMs, Salesforce and HubSpot also have gone public, but we're technically FSMs, not CRMs. If you want to get technical, we could talk about that later. But $10 billion, $10 billion. So
Yeah.
House Call Pro is a $2 billion company. Workies is 400 million. So it's not an unfathomable thing to think that Autopilot, with my community behind me and the power of community, we will reach that $1 billion level. So that is why I got into Autopilot. That is the whole reason, and why Autopilot is what I think really separates us is we're trying to offer the same value and more at a fraction of the cost. And it all started from junk removal. That's the crazy thing. And now, since I made the commitment to do the software, I'm in junk removal for the rest of my life until I IPO. So I will be here, whether you like me or not, for the next 10 years until yeah.
So basically, that's that has created you that has created for you to have some very thick alligator skin now.
I'm
You
working on
know,
it.
yeah, you're working on it. There you
Yeah.
go. Because there are some people who who would love to shit on a good thing and make so much havoc and just try to point out every flaw. And
Yeah.
when I don't say any names, but you know, does any of that get to you? Do you really let any of that inside? Do you really
So
let any of that inside of Andrew? The
so I'd be
all this drama?
so I'd be lying to you if I said no. Throughout my life, I've been pretty good at dealing with bullies.
Hmm.
I was kind of a nerd in school. I definitely was not the pop, definitely have gotten thick skin, and throughout just the journey of life, learned life, right? But
Yeah.
it's different, and I'm still learning to this day, becoming a public figure. And I'm not Logan Paul. I don't have 30 million followers. I've only got 15,000, but my entire business model and business itself relies on the community of me being a public figure. So some people, they can go into a community, they can say whatever they want, and it's not going to affect them because the outside world won't see what they're saying on this world. What I do now affects 100% everything. My family, my investors. We have 200 investors. So everything that happens inside this community affects my family's food and my investors' families' potential. They invested because they believe in me, and they're going to be like, "Oh, Andrew's going to bring me money." So, I'd be lying if I said it didn't affect me. And I'm developing political skin now, and politics is something I'll never talk about because I've seen that destroy people.
Yeah.
So I'm now developing that political skin of,
Yeah.
after all the drama that I've and for the last year building Autopilot, I've started developing. Oh shit! I'm like, oh, I need PR training now. Now I
Yeah.
understand this whole public figure PR training, because you need to learn how to respond to certain situations, and it's tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
but the last few weeks have been challenging for me, and I feel like I'm starting to understand the game. I really am.
Absolutely. And that's why, I have you on the show, not only to, what I mean, talk about Autopilot, but the main situation is talking about Andrew and, how's Andrew doing during all this, cloudiness. And, if you let it get to you, you know what I mean, then they win. But
Yep.
if you know how to prevent it, don't give some don't put fuel on the flame.
Yeah.
You absolutely, it's not winning, but you're making it. And it's not, it's just because we don't want to say win. We just want to say, I'm doing me. I'm happy with my
Mhm.
shell. I'm happy in my skin. So, either you support it or you don't support it. And that's just
Yep.
it. There's no reason to mudslang or, this or that. But, the power of social media now is that people get to say whatever they want to say.
Yep.
And,
And
it's just, you know what I mean? But I think what you're doing for the junk removal nation is that you're the guy who broke the ice on software. And to me, you're like almost the guy who broke, hey, Master Google, do
yep.
this. And and
Google Ads. Yep.
Google Ads. And a lot of people may not say, but you did have a successful running business. Because
Oh yeah.
for someone to make $1 million a year, I don't care what it is, there's not a lot of people out here who make $1 million a year.
Yeah. So the whole $1 million a year thing, obviously clickbait, of course, right?
No.
Um,
We're just gonna leave it as that's what your business made, and that's just it.
and no, it's I show everything. I don't know how far back on my journey you go. I don't know what videos you've seen, but
I seen
I
them all.
show I show everything.
I seen them all.
And I feel to this day I'm still the only YouTuber who divulges tax returns, bank
Mm-hmm.
statements,
Mm-hmm.
contracts, receipts, Clover, logging into my Google Ads and showing the ad spend, Clover transactions, and so $1 million is, and I only did. Some people are like, you did 1.1 million, but you only made a quarter million profit. But I was off the phones, I was off the truck. I could have made more profit had I been on the truck and taking phones. I could have cranked that up to like 350, 400.
Yeah.
But I was at home working and building my YouTube channel the entire time. So it's kind of crazy because I did 1.1 million, slowly got myself off the truck and built
Mm-hmm.
my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that YouTube channel changed my life,
Mine
Um,
too.
yeah, and and you're just kind of like, I think you just cracked 1,000 subscribers, and it's probably changing
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah. I'm almost
I
at
think
11 now.
I remember
Almost.
when I cracked 1,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah.
I remember my first 100. I was like, oh my god, my first
Yeah.
100, and then I was like, honey, 1,000. And now you're probably like, you know what? I'm gonna get to 5,000 next.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember I started my crowdfunding campaign for raising money. This is crazy, Mr. Yee, at 7,000 subscribers 1 year
Wow.
ago. Today, I started the crowdfunding campaign last June at 7,000. I had 7,000 subscribers. I'm now at 14 or 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I have raised $260,000 for my community off of 7,000 subscribers is when I started. Now I'm at 14,000 over that 1 year. But like,
Mm-hmm.
think about that. I built a community that believed in me so much. They gave me $250,000 and I only had 7,000 subscribers. You're like, you just cracked 1,000. So like
Yeah.
the potential of YouTube is astronaut. It makes no sense. Like I only
Yeah.
have 7,000 subscribers and you guys gave me a quarter. Well, now I have 14,000, but you get the point.
Yeah.
And it's only because I shared my journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And showed everything and taught everything I knew. I knew I was playing the long game. That's why I like divulged all my secrets, divulged SEO. I showed Black Hat World. I showed where to get all the shady things and buying press. And I showed how to do Google ads. I showed everything people weren't showing, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, and
And maybe some are either mad or jealous at that. Who knows? But you showed a lot, and I think you showed, like, I don't care, I paid for Google ads, but hey, I
I
live
paid
in
for
a
Google reviews too. And I showed that.
oh,
I
see,
bought
see.
and a lot of people don't like that. I in one of my earlier videos, I don't know if you saw this, but I divulged, hey, I didn't have any friends that would leave me Google reviews because I
Mhm.
don't have I have a small friend group, and I only have a few family members. I don't have much family, so I couldn't get any reviews for the life of me.
Mhm.
So I bought fake reviews and I found
Yeah.
an underground place to get it like legit where Google doesn't flag you. And a lot as controversial as it was, because they're like, that is Andrew, how? But a lot of people also respected it
I
because
seen that
I
video.
wanted a spike on Google, and I was like, I need
Yeah.
that lever. So I bought 20 fake reviews. I
Yeah.
bought 20 fake reviews on Thumbtack too, and I showed everybody how I
Hmm.
did it. And I hate to say, it made a diff. It spiked me. It got me going, especially on Thumbtack. And I showed people where I got it. And of course, I said, hey, this is what I did. I'm not saying
Hmm.
do this, but I'm going to tell you what I did because I don't give a fuck what you think. This is
Hmm.
what I did. And
Yeah.
I
It's
had I had a few people like they said they would message me saying I'm unsubscribing from you because you did this, and
hmm.
you know,
Well, let me just say, Andrew, you have a big family, and it's the junk removal family. And you have a lot of brothers and sisters out here who do watch you and do support you. And you know what I mean? Supporting your whole journey with the autopilot and everything that you have went through. So you do have you'd be surprised how many new friends I have gained in from junk removal. And just creating the character of Mr. Yee, and it's just like running with it. And I just everywhere I go now, it's just a yee yee,
yeah, I know.
and yeah, and it's just it's a blessing. But Andrew, so are you still teaching a coaching class or?
So yeah, I have a free coaching. Well, I guess yeah, I have a free coaching class. So, but it's only if you're an Autopilot subscriber at $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So if you pay for the software, you get access to my private community and me coaching. I'm not a coach by any. I don't charge for coaching. I don't do one-on-ones. I don't do mentorship. But I'll take one-on-one calls if you're a subscriber on Autopilot. So
That's right. Okay,
um,
there you go, guys.
I'll never be that guy who charges like $5,000 for coaching. And I don't have any like I have mixed feelings about high ticket sales because like that's a whole nother topic for another day. But we charge $5,000 for coaching. The argument is if they pay a lot of money, they're more likely to pay attention. And that is true. You
Yeah.
pay more money for something, you're more likely to do it. And that is true. And it kind of weeds out, but also, okay, you're teaching very rudimentary stuff. Should you be charging $5,000 to teach you how to go put out yard signs? And so anyways, I'm going on a tangent. I
No, it's
do
okay.
offer I do offer coaching if I'm doing bi-weekly classes in my private community. If you use Autopilot, I have a class tomorrow where I'm teaching um, like Facebook groups. I got to look
What's
at
the
the
Andrew? What's the average size of one of your classes, if you don't mind me asking?
about right now on average is 100-ish, give or take, people that are in there.
Wow,
Um,
that's a big class. Yeah,
yeah,
that's huge.
it's because we got 600 businesses using Autopilot with added
Hmm.
employees. There's about 1,400 accounts. That's why I
Hmm.
told you there's over 1,000 people using Autopilot. Autopilot. So
So, are they now a lot of non-junk removal businesses using autopilot?
so I wouldn't say a lot. It's definitely 99% junk removal,
Okay.
but we've got probably shit, maybe not 99, or maybe 95%. Yeah, I'd say 50
Okay.
other. We've got HVAC, we've got plumbers, we've got cleaning companies, we've got poop people, poop
Hmm.
doggy, poop clean. Yeah, we got a lot of other people using us
Hmm.
because an FSM, field service management software.
Hmm.
Technically, you can be any home service business and use this type of software. And hey,
Hmm.
I'm so sorry. I got to pee really bad. Give me 1 second. One
No
second.
worries. No
Yeah,
worries.
1 second.
I'll entertain anybody. Next time, bring a cup. But you guys see what Andrew's doing, and we're getting to Andrew. We're asking Andrew a lot of good questions, good content, without having all of the drama, without pointing names. And I'm trying to bring you guys some good content and getting you guys to see Andrew, to see what Andrew does. But sometimes Andrew has these situations where he needs to get up and go use the bathroom because he drinks a lot. And but he needs to go use the bathroom. Maybe Andrew's studio should be in the bathroom. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. No one's perfect at what they do in life, of at least of this world. You know what I mean? And I decided to get Andrew on the show today to just talk to Andrew and see who Andrew is. The Andrew without autopilot. Just, to see what's going on with Andrew. Are you back now? Are you good?
I'm back.
Okay, okay. So, I forgot where we were at. But
Yeah.
no, yeah. So here's another one, Andrew. So would you be willing to go to like other, like we have these state fairs, right? We have state fairs all the time.
Hmm.
And would you be willing to go to one of these state fairs and have a booth and try to sign people up, like all those local businesses that go there, and you would be like, "Hey, I'm Autopilot. I can provide you with a CRM that's cheaper than probably what you're using right now. Let me break it down to you instead of just promoting it with the junk removal."
Yeah. So funny you asked that. I almost
Hmm.
bought a booth this year last month at
Yeah.
the Waste Expo in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think you should have. I think you it's
Thousands
a
of people are at that, but I needed one more year to perfect the product.
uh-huh.
So I'll hold on to that. So I
So
needed one
maybe
more
in the
year.
future, maybe in the
Oh,
future.
so next year, so what I've learned about, I've ran startups in the past,
Mhm.
a lot of startups. It's been my entire journey of life, and
Andrew,
there.
have you ever had a regular job?
So I've had one job when I was 16 years old. Um,
Yeah, there you go. What'd you
so
do? What did you do?
I worked at Micro Center as a cashier.
There you go. There you
So
go.
I've been an entrepreneur spirit my entire life, and I dropped out when I was 17 out of high. Sorry, 17 or 18 years old. So I think I was 17 when I dropped out. It was junior year, going into the first semester of senior year. I dropped out. Everybody's like, Andrew, why didn't you finish? I was way behind on credits. I was not graduating, so I dropped out. And I was a programmer though, so I it, luckily I picked an industry that people needed, and I just never needed a job though because I kept building websites that generated money. My
Yeah.
first, so I generated a whole bunch of money, and never had a job. Did $2.5 million when I was 18 years old, all on 1099. So got all $2.5 million on 1099, no taxes taken out, because when you're a contractor for Google and Yahoo, they give you all the money. And yeah, so never had a job, and just kept building and building software, building websites, and I just kept trying to come up with new ideas. And I did it all the way up until now. And yeah, so
Do you build websites? If someone were to ask you, say, "Hey, can you help me with my website? Can you help
so
me
there
build
was
it?"
a point in time in my career, a couple times, two times I can remember vividly in my career, where things, I had ebbs and flows, right?
Hmm.
Where things would go rock bottom, and I would start taking client work. But I don't like taking client work. I always would build my own products, my
Yeah.
own websites, my own apps to
Hmm.
generate revenue.
Yeah.
And but there were two pivotal moments in my time where I had to take client work. I had to be a freelancer, coding and building websites or building apps for other people and charging them to survive, which still, I mean, the client is technically my boss, but no, I didn't have a W 2. I've never had a W paycheck in my life ever since I was 16 years old. My last W 2 paycheck was when I was 16, working at Micro Center.
Wow. Andrew, would you ever consider cutting your hair?
Cutting it next year,
All of it?
all of it. I've only ever had a shaved head. Sorry,
Yeah.
a
Hmm.
number one buzz cut,
Hmm.
until I started growing my hair out about when my daughter was born 10 years ago. I think maybe a year after that, maybe 9 years
Hmm.
I've had this, but I've
Yeah.
only ever had a number one buzz. So next year, I told my lady, I was like, she doesn't know what I look like with short hair.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be in for it. But yeah, shaving my head next year.
What about shaving the mustache?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna shave it all, so she
Oh,
can
there
see
you
what I
go.
look like without hair.
You're
And
gonna be a
hopefully she
different.
doesn't leave me. But that's why I
Yeah.
married her, so she can't.
There you go. There you go. Till death do us part. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Yes, yes. So will you be having a autopilot booth at the Junk Expo, or are you just talking and meeting and
No,
greeting?
no,
Or would they
I'm
be
gonna
a
I'm gonna have
booth?
a booth. My business partner will be there. Um, I'll have my business partner on my channel soon too, because nobody's, unless you're at the last Junk Expo, you met him. You were at the
Yeah,
last Junk Expo.
yeah.
I don't know if you talked to him, but you probably saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
I seen your crew. I seen your crew. I
yeah.
seen your wifey doing a
So
lot also.
we'll have a booth there for sure, and I'm doing a big giveaway.
Oh yeah, the big
um,
giveaway.
a
Yes.
big giveaway,
Hey,
and
I'm in
yeah,
that giveaway, so I might be having a trailer. I might be getting the trailer
yeah.
from
I
you
mean,
too.
yeah, it's definitely what's really cool this time is the last trailer I gave away. It wasn't at the Junk Expo last year, but I gave a dump trailer away on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you
Is
delivered it.
one drawing, but it was so underwhelming. I didn't like it when I gave it
Yeah.
away. It was just like one person won. I was like, no, I need to draw 10 or 20 people and have them all do mini games and compete. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw 10. I haven't decided on how many people, 10 to 20 people with raffle tickets out of the
Hmm.
500 people coming to the Junk Expo. And I'm gonna have you guys do silly mini games that are like legit, whether it's rock, paper, scissors or something that'll be done within 30 minutes, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that there's a chance for a lot of people. Like there's a doesn't it sound more exciting, more of a fighting chance for like 10 or 20 people with some silly mini games rather than you
Yeah.
just draw a number and they win a dump trailer at the Junk
Yeah.
Expo?
Well, there's a lot of us who do junk removal are of age, so a lot of us might get hurt trying to do something. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
no,
there's,
don't worry. They're gonna be easy mini games like rock, paper,
yeah,
scissors.
yeah.
Nothing that's going it's going to be all mini games that no matter
Hmm.
your gender, your whatever,
Yeah, your
fair for
gender.
everybody.
Yeah, I think that this year is going to be different at the Junk Expo because you're going to see. I think you're going to see all different ages now. Because
Yeah.
last year we just seen kind of a mature crowd until we seen junk teens, which I have an interview with junk teens. I did an interview. I think I was the only one doing interviews last year at the Junk Expo, little 5-minute interviews. I think so many people were just so, with the pen and notepads and just
Yeah.
soaking it
Wait,
up. Well,
you interviewed them last year?
yeah, yeah. I got interview with Abel. I got junk teens.
Oh,
I
wait.
got I got a
Where
lot of
are,
interview.
wait, at the Junk Expo?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
where
pulled
where are they?
I pulled. They're on my channel.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they're like little five. Look at my Junk Expo 2024 video, and I put
Okay.
them all in there. I put them all in there.
Oh, so
Everybody.
it's in that whole video. Got it. Okay. I'll
Yes,
have to check
yes.
it out.
So I interviewed a lot of people, even Bob from Monarch, and I interviewed him about his the dump trucks and everything. I interviewed a lot of people. I was trying to get an interview with you, but you were a very busy guy,
Yeah,
and I was.
it was chaos. It was
So,
chaos.
good thing we have 2 days going on this year, but I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a lot of younger faces this year come into the Junk Expo because I think a lot of people now are, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say riding the wave, but there's a lot of people who are trying to take control of their life now and being independent. And I think home services are like one of the number one situations right now about, just making money and being profitable.
Yep.
If you're willing to put your pride to the side and do work, you can make money because there's so much things you can do out here, especially in
Yeah.
California. you
Oh
can you
yeah.
can you can walk dogs and clean their poop up and make money.
Yeah, there's a
You can
guy that I just saw on the Upflip channel doing $1 million and scooping up poop.
scooping up poop. So
Yeah.
with that said, what's the future of Autopilot, Andrew?
So the first part is building a product that has all the core features and the foundational components that all the big dogs have, right? To play ball with the big boys, I've got to be as good as the big boys.
Yeah.
So the first part is matching the big boys who have raised $180 million each. House Call
Hmm.
Pros raised 184, Jobbers 174, Workies has raised 70 million or something like that. They've all raised ridiculous amounts of money. So the first part is to get to their level with me just raising $500,000, right?
Yeah.
500. I'll probably raise $1 million by the time next year. Next summer, I'm going to be, mark my words, as better than them at a fraction of the price. So price is the big one right now, right? Price is the big one because that is the obvious one that kind of like steers people away is I will be better, faster, stronger, Daft Punk song by
Hmm.
next year. summertime, the goal is to get that foundational model, that platform, the stability, and have the best platform at a fraction of the cost, right? There's no,
Mm-hmm.
they raise so much VC money that they have to charge you an arm and a fucking leg. They have to rip
Mm-hmm.
you off. I'm sorry. You should not be paying $300 a month to log a job and an invoice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To pay $225 to put a fucking job into your phone. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the future of Autopilot is obviously how can we take this new bubble and not just be a fucking turd with a Christmas wrapper? AI,
Mm-hmm.
AI. Everybody's talking about AI. AI this, AI that. AI answer my phone calls.
Chat
I don't
GBT. Chat
chat.
GBT.
It's AI is fucking amazing. And by the way, AI. Let me fix my camera.
Uh-oh.
I have a whole thought on AI. I love AI. I use it every day, every second of the day. I rely on ChatGPT. But this whole like phone call thing, yeah, that's going to work great for corporate. That's going to be great for corporations that have um, millions of customers, and Verizon and T-Mobiles and Comcast and Spectrums and blah blah blah. If you're a local business and you have AI answering your phones, I'm sorry, we don't call local businesses to listen to fucking AI, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I call Yeeeeee, I'm calling Yeeeeee to get the Yeeeeee special. Now, I'm not trying to I get it. You want AI as a backup because maybe you're on a job and you want AI to answer the phone call, to take a message. Maybe there's exceptions to the rule,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think AI is a good move for like answering phones in a local business, right? If
Yeah.
I call Yeeeeee, I want to talk to Yeeeeee. I don't want to talk to a robot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's places where we can use AI. And I'm not saying I'm not going to have that feature. Everybody's implementing that feature right now. House Call Pro
Yeah.
and Workies have already put AI answering services, and I can do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
hard.
No.
It's very easy to add. So I'm trying to figure out where can I put AI, and I have some ideas of where I can put AI into our product that's going to separate us and make, and I can go on forever. So I'm not
Yeah.
going to talk about it right now. But right now, get the core foundation built to where I can match the big boys at a fraction of the
Mm-hmm.
cost, because I'm going up
Mm-hmm.
against billion-dollar companies, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just a small little dude on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? Second is how do we intertwine AI without to be useful?
Can I make a suggestion?
I'd love to hear it.
I don't know if you already have this, but maybe a AI, if you miss a call and the AI will not allow you to miss the call. And the AI will be like actually answering the phone for you. If you miss the call, the AI takes over,
Yep.
and it can book you a job, it can message the person, or it can kind of talk to the person, but you will not miss a call because it's the AI assistance.
Yep.
Where if you were in a shower, because a lot of times we're in a shower, but our phone is right there. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
jumping out of the shower because I'm freaking soaking wet, but maybe I have before to answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is the AI can take over, because I know some businesses already have that. And
Yep.
I've been asked if I wanted that from someone with the app, and we'll give it to you absolutely free. But just work with us. But I'm thinking that would probably be a
That's
lot
our
better.
first. That's our first use case. Is
Hmm.
like I just said, like AI. I can't believe local businesses use this, but as a backup to answer missed calls, I
Yeah.
could see that, and
Yeah.
we are going to implement that. That is so. When it comes to AI voice, that is the first thing we're going to do. Is missed calls. That is 100% on our radar already.
Hmm.
Um, but I have some really cool. I was just okay. So you have a phone call with somebody, and it transcribes the voice. It transcribes it immediately, and AI runs through that, and it says, "Oh, so and so, Joe, John Doe wants to book. Do you want to book the job?" And then AI is like, it brings up large sofa and his address, and auto populates everything for you. Obviously, but I wanted to take it a step further and have kind of like the Chat GPT in our system, where you'd be like, "Yo, Joey from he just texted me. Joey from here's his phone number or whatever. Joey just hit me up. He says he wants his invoice from back in December. Can you find that invoice? Is there a Joe with an invoice in December? Can you pull that up for me? And it'll pull up that it'll find Joe's invoice from December 2023, and you're like, yeah, that looks like the right invoice. Can you send that email real quick? So that's I want to have like a conversation, and I believe that's kind of like the next step. And I hope Jobber or them are not watching this, but I think we're all on kind of that path of like figuring out where the AI use cases are. Because I'm trying to figure out what's gimmicky, what's utility, what's useful, what has utility.
Yeah. I think a lot of the big corporate businesses, they do watch a lot of the smaller YouTube guys just to take notes and just to see what's out there, just to see what's out there and what they're missing and what they want and or what they need, because that's the only way to find. They pay people, they have teams to go get, content.
Go do research.
To go do research. They have teams of nonstop. As soon as you come in and you clock in, you are looking for content.
R&D, baby, research and development.
Research and development. So with that said, Andrew, how important is SEO and junk removal?
Ooh, threw me a curveball there.
So
SEO has a couple parts, right? We got three parts. Let me think. We got how many parts of SEO do we have now? We have SERPs, which is a SEO term. SERPs, search engine result pages, where you rank 1 through 10. Those are called SERPs. We have map pack SEO, where you rank on the map pack of 3 results, and we now have AI SEO. So SEO is probably the end game for most people. I would argue SEO is the most important for the end game, because if you can do all of the tricks in the book and the methods to get to your jobs to survive long enough for you to do SEO for the next 2 years, to where you can stop doing all the hacks and SEO runs your entire business. If you're number 1 for multiple search terms, you pop up on AI, you pop up on the map pack, you pop up on the SERPs, and you're number 1 through 10. And maybe you're killing it organically on with social media too, but that's not really SEO, so never mind. You could probably thrive and survive just off SEO, but SEO is the end game. You have to do all this bullshit in between.
Yeah.
Until
constantly tweaking it.
I would say SEO is the end game. It's the end game. It's the most important. But SEO will do you absolutely no good if you don't have if you're not doing other shit until you hit the end game. Because now SEO's tough, right? Like you're competing for a whole bunch of shit, and brand too. Like brand is another thing. Like,
oh my god!
So like I would argue SEO and brand / word of mouth are the 2 most important things. You build brand, you do SEO, you're set for life. But you have to do all the other shit in between.
Yeah. It takes tweaking that whole website, tweaking that whole website.
It's funny because brand and SEO are the ones that take the longest, but bring you the most value. So you have to do all that
investment,
tweaky shit in between, putting out yard signs, doing door.
Yeah. And plus, I think number 1 is getting those reviews, because that's what's going to. A lot of people just sleep on this, but now that we put all this content out there, there's a lot more people now getting those reviews organically, and not like saying, man, I'm not going to get fake reviews because I don't want to risk my business. I just don't want to be suspended. I just don't want to do this. So a lot of people are just, going out of their way. And I preach it so much on my videos. Make the Google review part of the deal. Before I shake someone's hand, I say, and the Google review. And they say, no problem. Before you leave, I'll do it right in front of your face. That's just, I think that's going to really, really help you out right there.
Google reviews are everything. And that is dude, I got so many Google reviews when I was on the truck in the beginning, because I literally sent them the text while I was with them. And I said, please, I did exactly what you said. I would literally say, shake their hand and say, thank you so much. Will you please leave a Google review? It helps me so much. My Google review close rate was insane when I was on the truck myself. It is the most important thing for ranking in the map pack. There's a lot of other variables that go into it, but if you ain't got no reviews, you are not ranking. You are not. If you have 0 reviews, you're not ranking. Period.
I'd recommend if you have an employee or a helper or whatever you have, you tell that person if you get a Google review, you get $100. I tell you that right now. You get a Google review and you did a good job, you're getting a bonus. That's
Yeah.
just those things that you got to tell your team because it's just so important. But no one's
Dis-
gonna go ahead.
I was going to say, I even used to give discounts for a Google review.
Yeah, me. Hey, same here. Same.
And discounts to leave a yard sign if it was a house in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'd give a discount to leave a branded yard sign in the yard.
Yeah, well, I tell clients if you refer me to someone and they tell me that they referred you, I give that client a free pickup. I come pick up one free thing, an item or two from you, no
Oh,
problem.
that's it.
Just leave
Oh,
it curbside.
instead of like saying, "Hey, I'll give you 10 if you refer me and I'll give you 10% off." You're like, "Hey," because they don't
They
10%
don't.
off. You just say, "Hey, I'll come get a free item for you."
Yes,
That's
and
more
they're
enticing sounding than
yes. I'll
giving me
come pick up.
10% off.
I'll
Yeah.
come pick up. I'll come pick up your old mattress or your old
Yeah.
sofa.
Anytime
Absolutely.
you have something you need to get rid of in the future, I got you.
As long as that person tells me that you referred them.
That's
So
actually, hey, I like that.
yeah, so that's maybe put that in one of your classes. I mean, one of your
Oh yeah, no,
I would love to come out in one of your classes too and talk to the class and you know what I mean and say, hey, I
oh
got a
no,
space,
consider it
you
done
know.
because
Yeah,
I'd love to have you on because
yeah,
I need more people to teach what they know.
yeah, and it's just less is best. But anything else you got to say, Andrew?
Um, let's see, what do I?
Junk Expo's coming up. You're coming to California. I mean, you're already here in California, but the Junk Bowl Expo's coming. Any events, any pop ups you're doing in the
So
future?
I got some big news, guys. Besides, I'm speaking at the Junk Expo. I'm giving away a dump trailer, literally a $10,000 dump trailer,
Nice.
no strings attached.
No
Literally,
strings
somebody is
attached.
taking. Um, I
And
do have.
Matt said here, cash him out.
Oh yeah, if you're like in New York and you don't want to deal with it, he'll cash you
Yeah.
out on the spot. Um, I am doing another event, like I did last time, a live event where 700 people showed up live to win a dump trailer. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a very big announcement, and it's with Matt and JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be pretty epic, and
Nice.
it's going to be a challenge, and there's going to be prizes. And let me just tell you, the prizes will be bigger than the dump trailer. So that announcement will be. I haven't decided the day after the Junk Expo, but I'll start announcing it on my YouTube channel. But it's going to be like a day or a week after, where I'm going to go live again, and I'm doing a challenge with Matt and JoJo, and it's going to be this epic challenge in the junk removal community. And anybody can compete, whether you are just starting or you already have a $5 million business. It's fair game for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a $5 million business or a $0 business. Everybody has equal. I am equalizing the playing field for everybody to win this grand prize, because there's a lot of variables that I'm judging on this challenge. It's not just revenue. It's not just sales and revenue. It's not. There's a lot of factors that go into this challenge, whether you're new or you're a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a challenge that I'm doing with Matt and JoJo. And we have a video editor, a cinematographer, a film, like a sound guy, an audio guy, a special effects guy, putting together this presentation that I'm going to be announcing after the Junk Expo of this massive giveaway and sorry, challenge that you win. And
Yeah.
it's going to be really cool. It's to hype up Autopilot. It's to hype up the junk removal community, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be really cool. So I'm excited. You heard it on Yeeeee's first because I have not announced this yet.
Nice.
I'll probably
Exclusive.
I'll probably be doing a YouTube video here in a week or two, probably a couple of weeks. I'll probably be announcing this on my YouTube channel. But so if you
Mm-hmm.
get this video out first, you heard it on the Yeeeeee channel first.
Big giveaway, big surprises, big situations coming up with Autopilot,
Yep.
and just helping out the community of junk removal. And it's not just junk removal. There's so many businesses that can benefit from
Any
Autopilot.
home service, any home service.
And I think home services are the number one thing going on right now if you're not in software. But if you're in home services, you're making a killing. And there's some people out here making a killing in junk removal, and they're very positive. They're very nice people. And you know what I mean? It's just a blessing right there. I think, Andrew, you should print out 1,000 t-shirts and send them out to everybody and tell people, take a wear, wear the t-shirt, take a picture, tag me in it, and we got a situation. We got a giveaway given out too.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
No. I'm printing some t-shirts. How much would that cost?
yeah,
Yeah. I might.
I'm gonna need a 2X. I'm on a weight loss plan right now. I already lost 10
Yeah. I
pounds.
saw the video.
And
I saw the video with the thing
yeah,
that you're doing. I'm on
yeah,
TRT, so I'm crushing it over here.
yeah. I'm on Wegovy. So the doctor just upped my dosage, and I'll be picking that up next week. And it's just it's really helping out. And honestly, just the fasting, because
Yep.
right now I'm only eating once a day. And
Wow. Once a day?
once a day, and because I'm on this Wegovy, it kills the craving.
Really?
It kills the urge. And once we're working, w- we're in that mode where we're just working, where we just want to go.
Yeah.
All I want is cold ice water. Just give me cold ice water. I don't want nothing to slow me down. So I burn
Is
a
my
lot of
is my camera lagging for you right now?
a little bit. It's kind of glitchy, but
Yeah,
not
that's
too
weird. I don't know
bad.
why it's doing that.
Maybe it's
Um,
getting maybe it's getting warm.
yeah, I
You
don't
know
know.
what I
Oh,
mean?
you know what? You're absolutely right. This camera
Yeah.
does overheat.
That's that's why I showed you which camera I use. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
that. I don't have
yeah.
that problem. You know what I mean? But Andrew, it was a blessing talking with you today, and thank you so much for what I mean, just giving me your time.
I
Andrew
appreciate it.
Thompson,
Thank you.
Autopilot guys, support Autopilot, because Autopilot is part of junk removal. You can like it or not. Autopilot's not going nowhere.
We're
It's
not going
here.
anywhere. We ain't going
Execute
anywhere.
execute order 66. It's here. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
it,
Thank you so much.
it's all good, my brother. I support you, and you know me. In all reality, we have to support each other because we're all in the same race. We're on the same boat. We all represent that big J in junk removal. And what you're doing is just different. And you're gonna have critics. You're gonna have this, but you know what? At the end of the day, don't lose no sleep over it. And alligator skin.
Alligator.
Alligator skin. That's
And
just
I
what
want
it
to have
is,
you
man.
on my channel next.
Yes, yes. Put me on the channel. We'll make that happen. And you know what I mean, my brother. Andrew, where could they find you on social media?
So, at Andrew Jedi on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram is at Andrew.autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also just YouTube, and if you type in Andrew Thompson on YouTube, I'm the first one that shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And autopilotapp.io. I will buy autopilot.com when we have the money, but
Mm-hmm.
autopilot app, www.autopilotapp.io.
Mm-hmm.
Sign up for autopilot now.
Yes, and you guys have any questions, you guys can always reach out to Andrew. When he has time, he will talk, because as you guys seen, I took him out of his busy schedule. This guy he has a family, so it's hard for him, you know what I mean? And we only had one bathroom break. We only got out of his seat one time today. So we like that. It was a good interview. And
I
my
was told
brother,
mine. What can I say?
yeah, it's okay, my brother. I support you, and he's here for you. And anytime. And I just salute you and thank you so much for coming on to the show, my brother.
Thank you, my
Yes,
man. I
yes.
really appreciate it. I'll talk
Ha-
to you
ha-
soon.
Hang on, hang on. Give us the slogan before you get out. Give us the what's buried or whatever. Give us the slogan
Um,
when you end your videos.
Success is always covered in dirt, but so was gold at one point. Toodles. Whoosh.
Toodles. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. End it like that, my man.
Mhm.